that he's the devil that the Bible speaks. What do you call it? Yes, campaign, help fund his campaign and everything. Yeah. Trump put him up there. He has a lot to say. This guy Andrew, he was fighting against. I mean, you had Levine, you had these other guys. They were making all kind of crazy commercials against each other. Right? Have you seen some of them commercials? This guy is stealing the tax money. We're not gonna get no Social Security at this time. But really, let me tell you something. It was really Broward County. This county is the county that put Andrew up. Yeah. Out of all the counties, Broward County is the one who really pushed him, right? Their votes and everything to get him to run against this guy, right? And then this guy had the nerve to turn around and say, we need to vote for him, right? Because he has a plan. He's going to take over what Rick Scott was doing. And he wants the state of Florida to progress, to move forward. He turned around and said, well, we don't got time to elect someone else, right? The other candidate, for him to be monkeying around. Knowing that, he was a Negro. So Esau loved to call us monkeys. So they turn around and try to backtrack it and say, I didn't really mean it like that. You're a liar, and the truth is not in you. You mentioned that because why? It was a black man running against you. If it was a so-called white man running against you, you wouldn't mention anything about being a monkey. So right now, I brought out the scripture. We gotta watch as well as pray. Because even though we don't keep up with politics and things like that, you need to, once in a while, stick your eye in there, check it out, see what they're talking about, see what's going on. Because what they do affect you. If they raise the taxes right now, you're going to notice your check $40 short. You're like, wait a minute. Right? Because these guys change the tax, right? So we need to, I ain't saying go out there and vote, no. But I'm telling you to watch. Because the evil that they're doing is coming down on us. Right? And we read that in Luke, right? Watch as well as pray, so that what? Pray always, so that we escape. We escape what? The judgment that's coming here. That's very important. Esau in these last days are revealing themselves. They're telling who they are. They know that they're racist all the way from the top, from Donald Trump on down. All of them. They're all racist. They don't like none of us. And they hate what we're doing right here, right now. This is the worst right here for them. This is the worst. Because now we're coming together and we're realizing who we are, and now we're not accepting what you're dishing out anymore. As young people always say on the street, the day of the nigger is over. Con? We're not dealing with that no more. We're dealing with the Most High, Mashiach Yahushua. We're going to keep his commandments, and we're going to pray that he deliver us out of this kingdom. Con? Our women also need to be praying for that too. Not praying for a 7-bedroom house and a big fancy car and all that. Forget about the things in this world. Your mansions are in heaven. Pray for your redemption. That's very important. Every week we pray for our redemption. We're going to start chapter 27.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses, with the elders of Israel, commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. And it shall be on the day when ye shall pass over Jordan unto the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee, that thou shalt set thee up great stones and plaster them with plaster. And thou shalt write upon them all the words of this law when thou art passed over, that thou mayest go in unto the land which the Most High thy power giveth thee, a land that floweth with milk and honey, as the Most High thy power of thy fathers have promised thee.
Yeah, promised who?
Promised thee.
You see that? The Most High has promised this land flowing with milk and honey. That's one of the promises, man. What's the other promises? You might help me with the other promises? What else the Most High promised us besides the land? Anybody? What else he promised us? He promised us slaves.
That will be above all people.
Right. That was he promised us to be above all people. He said that we was going. He promised. Who said that? Who said Mashiach? Right. That's one of the promises. The Most High promised us a Savior. Hamashiach and Hoshach. I'm a one. Oh, okay. I know where you're going. We can get that up. Ephesians 6:1.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 1. Children, obey your parents and the Most High, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
Yeah, you hear that? That's the first commandment with promise. Everybody heard that? Did everybody hear that? Read it again.
Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1.
Right.
Children, obey your parents and the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise.
So that's the first commandment that he's given us with promise. Are we talking about Moses going up, getting the tablets? Then he's pulling out right now. He says pulling out the stones so they can write what? The law now. We're going to Deuteronomy 27 chapter. We're going into the writing of the law. Okay, on the stone. Right? So he said this is the first commandment he gave to us with promise. I just brought that out earlier today. You see a lot of our young men, they're getting gunned down. They're not keeping their oath, man. Right? So we go back. So that's one of the promises. Anybody can think of any other promises? What else the Most High promises? Hadar? Right. That's another one. The Most High promised us eternal life. Right? What else? Anybody can think of anything else? Oh yeah, Luke chapter 168, yeah. That was him promised us what? The Savior? That's huh? Oh, be saved from our enemy. Right. You gonna say something? That's another promise. The Most High promised us what? Salvation. What is salvation? Meaning. Oh, back again? Oh. Are you a representation of the sisters? I see your hand going up on the over here a lot. All right, go ahead, sister. Go ahead. Right, salvation. Right, salvation is for us, but what is salvation? Over here. Lying? You said being free from sin?
Yeah, like not finding the correct words to use.
Right. Salvation means the deliverance from evil. We're being delivered from out of the evil world. That is our salvation. But we need to be separated from these nations. And we be a part of our own nation, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. That is our salvation. Right? When you look up salvation, it means deliverance from evil. Okay? So, I mean, it's more promises, it's a whole lot. You know, what you got? What you got?
The covenant.
Huh?
The covenant.
That's another promise. The Most High promised us a covenant. You know what I mean? That he made with who? With Abraham, Isaac, and then with Jacob, and then with who else? With the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? And even when we split up and we didn't keep the commandments, we went into idolatry and all that stuff, he still said, we're going to make a new covenant with us. Right? The new covenant is going to be with who? The house of Israel and Judah. Right? The southern tribe and the northern tribe. And like the prophet Ezekiel said, He's going to put the two sticks together, and we're going to be one nation. Huh? So this is part of the promises, man. We have a lot, even when you read Romans, I went over that, we did a class on that, Romans 9, you know, the giving of the glory, the promises, the services, everything is to Israel. I don't see how T.D. Jakes can just add everybody else in there. There's no room for nobody else. Huh?
Right.
We getting everything. You know how Israel say in the world, we all that in a bag of chips. We getting it all, man. We getting everything. There's nothing left for the other nations except work. Free labor, that's all. Just like they did us. Right? So let's go back. We want a promise though, but one of the promises we brought out was the land it's going into. Right?
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27 and verse 4. Therefore it shall be when ye be gone over Jordan, that ye shall set up these stones which I command you this day in Mount Ebal, and thou shalt plaster them with plaster, and there shalt thou build an altar unto the Most High thy power, an altar of stones. Thou shalt not lift up any iron tool upon them. Thou shalt build the altar of the Most High thy power of holy stones, and thou shalt offer burnt offerings thereon unto the Most High thy power. And thou shalt offer peace offerings, and shalt eat there, and rejoice before the Most High thy power. And thou shalt write upon the stones all the words of this law very plainly. And Moses and the priests, the Levites, spake unto all Israel, saying, Take heed and hearken, O Israel, this day thou art become the people of the Most High thy power. Thou shalt therefore obey the voice of the Most High thy power, and do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. And Moses charged the people the same day, saying, These shall stand upon Mount Gerizim to bless the people when ye are come over Jordan, Simeon and Levi and Judah and Issachar and Joseph and Benjamin. And these shall stand upon Mount Ebal to curse Reuben, Gad, and Asher, and Zebulun, Dan, and Naphtali. And the Levites shall speak and say unto all the men of Israel with a loud voice, Cursed be the man that maketh any graven or molten image, an abomination unto the Most High, the work of the hands of the craftsmen, and putteth it in a secret place. And all the people shall answer and say, Amen.
Right. So if you're going about building some secret, you know, altar to another God other than the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the Most High said you're going to be cursed. This was a big problem in Israel. Israel, that was one of the things that we did. We started to pass our children through the fire of Molech, right? This was a serious thing that we used to do. Okay, we would pass the children through the fire, and they made it through, and all of a sudden they were blessed. We learned these things through Egypt, right? We learned these goddesses and these gods through Egypt. Okay? So this is why I know a lot of our people. You see that a lot of us will wear the shield, what they call the shield of David, right? We wear the shield of David today, okay? Right? This is a representation of the power of Israel, Yahweh, who we are. We are the real Jews and Israelites of the Bible. Okay? But then you got some people out there who are teaching doctrine about this. The shield of David is a star of Molech. And that's garbage. That's garbage. Right? Because the star of Molech has nothing to do with an actual shape of a star. This is not even a star. This is the shield. Okay? Just to, let let's see, get a little bit more. Read a little bit more down before we go to the next verse. Yeah, read some more. 16.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 16.
Right.
Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother.
Right.
And all the people shall say, Amen.
Right. What's that mean? What's that talking about? Cursed is he that sitteth light next to his father or mother. What's that talking about? Somebody help me out. If I go in, I was gonna go into that moment, but not now. Let's go with this verse right here. We gotta get on. I don't think they got it.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 16. Cursed be he that setteth light by his father or his mother.
What's that talking about? Somebody help me out. And not just the men. I'm asking the women also too. What does it mean? I'm asking the nation. What is the scripture talking about? I got an answer? Go ahead.
That treats with contempt, treat their hold a grudge against their parents.
No. What is it? Say a bad name about them?
No, talk like badly about them.
So tell them bad things?
No. Talk badly about them.
Say it again?
Like talk things, like horrible things about them.
Oh, speak horrible things about your mother or your father. No, read it again. Let's see what it says. Read it again.
Deuteronomy 27 and verse 16. First, be he that setteth light by his father or his mother.
Right. So you being cursed and sit. Huh? No. What you gonna say, sis? You said Deuteronomy 19:14? Come on, are you pulling scripture? Wait a minute. That's what I'm talking about. Sisters, that's why Wapian got the pull of scripture. That's good. Deuteronomy 19 and 14. Let's see what you got there. That's Deuteronomy 19 and 14, you said? It says, thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark. No, that's going into the inheritance, not that. But you know what? For sister at least raising her hand, and taking an honest guess. But that's not quite it. So the sit of light next to your parent, right? Next to your father or your mother is meaning that a lot of times our children, they play around with their parents too much, right? Parents, your father is your authority. He is not your pet. You don't stroke his hand. You don't sit on his lap and be, running around and making a fool of him. You know what I'm saying? Or when you see now he's being serious about something and you're playing. A lot of times our children play too much with our parents, with the parents today, right? You notice that, right? They talk to them any kind of way. They call them by their first name. Instead of you saying, yeah, uncle, you'll say, yeah, damn, yeah. Why you ain't looking up? Why you ain't picked up the work? Or why you didn't buy me this? My birthday is coming up. A lot of times our people, the level of respect for their parents is at a lower state, right? So you can't sit light next to your father or your mother. He is the authority figure in the house. Time? So when you sit a light next to him, meaning that you showing a disrespect, like you and him on the same level. You and him could never be on the same level. Father is the head, the mother is behind him, and after that is the children. Right? That's the order. But when you see it here in this society, they take it light. They talk to the mother in a kind of way. The children walk around with their pants sagging. The mother say, "Oh no, he's just expressing himself." That's not the spirit of the Lord. They talk to their mother in any kind of way. They tell the parents lay down the rules in the house. They don't listen. They just do what they want to do. I hear one girl or one sister or somebody, one of the children say, "Well, I'm grown." I love when they say that, because if you're grown, then you need to be in your own place paying your own bills. Because that's what grown people do. Right? You can't be grown in another man's house. Can two kings sit on the throne? Right. So you the man in your house and your son raising up. Tell him now, yo, you need to sit down somewhere, old man. Yo. You looking to get knocked down. Right? Give me Sirach, 3rd chapter. You gonna say that?
Two bulls can't raise no one thing.
Huh?
Two bulls can't raise one thing.
Right. You said two bulls and
Can't reel in one thing.
right. Two bulls can't rail in one pair. Benjamin. All right. Yeah, second one.
The book of Sirach. If you have the read Apocryphus, page 72, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter that ye may be saved.
Okay.
For the Most High hath given the father honor over the children.
You're giving the father honor over who?
The children.
Right. So the father, he's the ruler of the house. He runs things. Right? But remember, the scriptures tell us don't be a lion in your own house. You're going to go around roaring at everybody and yelling, you know what I mean? Tearing everybody up, tearing the place up like they're the East Indians. The East Indians don't play around. A woman get out of order, they'll beat you. You lie. The father will beat the mother and the mother-in-law. You tear stuff up in the house. The East Indians don't play around. If we did that in Israel, boy, it'd be a problem. Right? Right? But the scriptures tell us not to be a striker, so we shouldn't be beating our wives. But the other nations, they do that all the time. Right? So you shouldn't be a lion in your own house. If you're the man in the house, you're the man in the house. You shouldn't have to say it. You shouldn't have to always say, well, I'm the man in the house. I'm the man in the house. If you already know what you are, you shouldn't have to say it. And everybody recognize who you are. That people need to, that the children and the wife need to honor you. Go on, read on, come on.
And have confirmed the authority of the mother over the sons.
Right, so the mother is over the son. She's the one taking care of the son, nurturing them, making sure they have everything they need, right? So a lot of times, we don't get too emotional as men. So the woman get a little emotional, they make it on the son's side, pamper them a little bit, make sure you're all right, you know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. That's what the Most High telling us. Read.
Whoso honoreth his father maketh an atonement for his sins.
Right?
And he that honoreth his mother is as one that layeth up treasure.
Right, you see that? He that honors his father, right? He that honors his father maketh an atonement for his sins. And he that honors his mother lay up treasures. Right? Read on.
Whoso honoreth his father shall have joy of his own children, and when he maketh his prayer, he shall be heard.
Right?
He that honoreth his father shall have a long life, and he that is obedient unto the Most High shall be a comfort to his mother. He that feareth the Most High will honor his father and will do service unto his parents as to his masters.
Right. Drop down to verse 12.
Verse 12.
Read.
My son, help thy father in his age,
Right?
and grieve him not as long as he liveth.
Right. Stop right there. Right. Help the father in his age, man. So now, as you've grown up as a young man, you don't sit right next to your father. You deal with him, with respect, honor. And as he grow old, he might grow old and start, maybe he might stumble a little bit. He might forget something that he normally do. You as son, you the one supposed to be there, to help him in his last days. Right? But in this condition now, forget about 2018, who's my father? Who's my mother? They don't even know who's who in the house. There's all different kind of religions going on. All these things are going on in the household now, 2018. The level of respect for fathers, the level of respect for mothers has gone out the window. These people sit right next to their mother, they teach them all kind of wickedness. The mother got on pumps and the daughter got on pumps. They both out in the same club together. I hear stories, man. I hear one mother dancing in the club, and all of a sudden, She bumped into somebody. She turned around, was gonna get smart with the girl, turned around with the daughter. What are you doing here? What are you doing here? What are we both doing here? You know what I mean? So this is the condition of our people. The honor has gone. We have been cursed. Cursed as a people. Read on. Go back to the portion.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 16. Cursed be he that sitteth right by his father or his mother.
Right.
And all the people shall say, Amen.
Right. And you agree with it, right? Read.
Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark.
Right.
And all the people shall say, Amen.
Right. This is what the sister just brought out. Deuteronomy 19 and 14. What's the precept for that? Let's get that real quick. Deuteronomy 19 and 14. Right. It said, cursed be he who do what? It said, cursed be he that removeth a neighbor's landmark. That's all, man. Your landmark over here, you'll probably move a little bit over there to get more space. You know what I mean? You know, somebody got killed in Lauderdale Hill some years ago behind that. Guy was out there cutting grass and he was doing something. He was on the man's landmark. He was like, yo, we did a survey and this is part of my land. What are you doing? And the two got into an argument. One pulled out a gun and shot him, killed him. So I said Deuteronomy 19 and 14.
The book of Deuteronomy,
Right.
chapter 19 and verse 14.
Mm-hmm.
Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark,
Right.
which they of old time have set in thine inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land that the Most High thy power giveth thee to possess it.
Right. So you shouldn't move somebody's landmark. You can't do that. Say curse be unto you. Right? So that was the law on that. You can't move somebody's landmark so that you can gain more land for you. Maybe you feel like your mother and your father or whatever didn't leave you enough land. So you say, you know what, this guy's not using this acre. Let me just move the mark over here and say this is mine. No, that's all. Right? Because after he's gone, what are you supposed to do with that land? Pass it to his children. So now if you pass it to the children, pass it down, he's going to be short. Right? There's going to be a problem there. Read on. Go back to Deuteronomy 27.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27 and verse 18. Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way.
Right?
And all the people shall say, Amen.
So what's that talking about? Cursed be he that maketh the blind to wander out of the way. What's that talking about? And all the people shall say, Amen. You got some hands up there. I'm on. Oh, you're taking advantage. Wow. Yeah, oh man, we good for that. We're good for that, man. You know, a lot of our people, a young generation looking to buy a car or something like that. And then some of these people sell you a car, they know the car is leaking oil, or the transmission might be going. Oh no, it's good. You put some Lucas in there, transmission turning nice and easy. You don't know anything about no car. You say, hey man, maybe I might get this car, it looks good. You go and buy it, make sure you know 3 months later that Lucas run out, bam. Transmission sees up, man, this guy bought this car. You know, or people do things to if you don't see things right away, nobody's like there to really help you. This would be blind. You know, being like a stumbling block.
Yeah.
You know, the scripture say, don't put a stumbling block. You got that? Yeah. All right, get that. Get that. Let me tell you, I was just bringing out about that virgin birth. That's a stumbling block, man. That's a stumbling block for the nation, man. I'm telling you. Do you believe, I'm going to tell you something. Do you believe still that there's Israelites out there still believe that the angel was kicked out of heaven, Satan, now his name is Lucifer, he running around going crazy? At one point he was a good angel. There's a lot of doctrine out there, and our people are still caught up in it, man. We have a lot of work to do. Right? Read that.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 14.
Okay.
Leviticus chapter 19, verse 14. Thou shalt not curse the deaf, nor put a stumbling block before the blind,
Right.
but shall fear the Most High.
Right. So thou shalt not curse the deaf, right? Nor put a stumbling block before the blind. So you know the deaf he can't hear. Right? And the blind he can't see. So what are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be a guide to them. Right? To guide them in the right place. But what? We turn around and use the brother or sister's handicap, right? To get over it. We go around, we teach doctrines, you know what I mean? Teaching about, what's the Most High's name? When you see that, read that in the Ten Commandments, Ahaya. Now, I'm calling on Ahaya. We calling on Yahweh. You can't worship with me. Right? Or like I was bringing out, like the virgin birth. That all those things are stumbling blocks. Cornelius, where he's an Israelite or he's an Edomite. That's a stumbling block for our people. The full moon being the new moon. There's people actually leaving the camp. They leaving in droves, man. They're leaving this camp and saying, listen, man, I'm not dealing with that. Because why? We put a stumbling block for the people. We got to stop it, Israel. We got to go as pure as we can with the word. And you know what? Listen, we're going to make mistakes. I may stumble on something over this Torah and realize it, but no, I got to work. I got to repent. Seek my elders and get the true guidance. Okay? We'll go back.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 19. Cursed be he that perverteth the judgment of the stranger, fatherless, and widow, and all the people shall say, Amen.
So cursed be he that perverteth the judgment. Give me Zechariah. We can't pervert the judgment. Right? Okay? Right. You can't say because, Kadash, he's he got this thing I gotta look out for him because he's special. You know what I mean? I gotta look out for him. Most I say he has no respect of persons. Man. If a brother commit something that is against Torah, against the law, then what? We ought not to pervert the judgment. We ought to give righteous judgment according to the Most High. Right? You got that?
The book of Zechariah, chapter 7, and verse 8. And the word of the Most High came unto Zechariah, saying,
What did he say to Zechariah?
Thus speaketh the Most High host,
right?
Saying, execute true judgment.
Execute who?
True judgment.
So he says, execute true judgment. Right? Read.
And shew mercy and compassions every man to his brother.
Right. And you got to show mercy and compassion to your brother. A lot of times our people, something happened in judgment. I would bring up Kadash, you know what I mean? But anybody, it could be a sister. And the first thing they want to do, they want to pick up the stone. The scriptures tell us that we need to go to the law, judge the matter. Right? And after we judge the matter, we make true judgment. We don't pervert the judgment. Huh? It's very important. And show what? Mercy and compassion. That's very important. We just read about the Pharisees, right? They typed incense, anise, cumin. They did all these things. They weighed the heavy matters, but what? The mercy and compassion, they had none. We got to show that mercy. We can't go and stone the brother. What happened to hugging the brother? Yo, brother, you going off, man, and give him a hard correction, rebuking him. And then after what? Build them up. Well, we can do better than this. Go over some scriptures, give them some, some spiritual food. That's what we have to do. But a lot of our people, we're so quick to make the judgment to kill. But first, we got to make righteous and true judgment. And also have mercy and compassion. Because that's what the Pharisees, they had a severe lack of that. So, read on. Go back to where you was at. That was it on that, right? Yeah. Okay, that was it on that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 20. Cursed be he that lieth with his father's wife.
Oh my gosh. Man. It's rough, man. But let me tell you something. Listen. The Most High knew what he was doing when he said this. Cursed be him. Read that again now.
Cursed be he that lieth with his father's wife.
Right. I was just bringing that out earlier today. Cursed be he that lieth with his father's wife. Now, a lot of you may say, oh, who would do something like that? Yeah. But wait, let me tell you something. This thing is going down. This thing is the real deal, man. And where do we get this from? Laying with our father's wife. This dates back to that Tower of Babel. No. This goes further than that, man. This goes way back. If you ever heard a little bit of the story I can touch on about Nimrod, right? Who was Nimrod's father? Anybody know? Who can answer? Cush. Cush was Nimrod's father, right? So now, after, right, Cush died, right? His mother, his wife, Cush's wife, took him and put him up in some kind of sun, some kind of sun god, right? But then what happened to Nimrod? Now, before he died, he lay with his father's wife. Right? And she made herself a goddess. That's how that Ishtar. That's how you got Ishtar. Yeah. It's like kind of a moon goddess or something like that. You gonna say something? Right, that's where the Easter came from. You think the egg just came out of nowhere? She was going around telling people she came out of space from an egg and landed into the Mediterranean. She was hatched. You think as far as fetch, but back then, a lot of people, if you was able to tell the stars and the moon and stuff like that, they look at you as being a god. So even though it's telling you right here, you shouldn't lay with your father's wife, don't think it's so far-fetched. Because the Egyptians was doing this thing. And a lot of Israel was doing it. Huh? You go back in our history, we've done it. Okay? So, and today, forget about it. Your father ain't doing something right, and somebody, the stepson, he'll get with the mother. You know what I mean? And it'll be on. So let's get the law on that real quick. I should be Leviticus 18. Let's go to Leviticus 18. Yeah. We go to Leviticus 18. And it is in Deuteronomy too. But let's get the law on Leviticus 8, the 18th chapter. Read 18 and 1. Stop there. Start 18 and 1. So that way, you get the understanding of what we're reading.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 18, and verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, I am the Most High your power.
Right?
After the doings of the land of Egypt, wherein you dwelt.
You see, we dwelt in the land of Egypt. How many years? Over 400 years. That's 400. Over 400. 400, like 430 years, right? We were in Egypt. That's a long time, man. That's a long time to be amongst another nation that worship multiple gods. You understand? So, if they worship multiple gods, we knew who our God was. And we knew the Most High was going to send us a deliverer to get us out of here. But they served multiple gods. That's why we were building that calf. We learned that from them. We don't.
Verse 3.
Verse 3, yeah.
After the doings of the land of Egypt wherein ye dwelt, shall ye not do, and after the doings of the land of Canaan, where I bring you, shall ye not do, neither shall ye walk in their ordinances.
Right, so the Most High has given us commandment. Don't walk with the ordinances. Don't do the things that they do. Right? Read on.
Verse 4. Ye shall do my judgments and keep my ordinances.
You see that? The Most High is telling us, ye shall do my judgments, right? And keep my ordinances, read,
To walk therein.
okay?
I am the Most High your power.
Read on.
Ye shall therefore keep my statutes.
You shall keep what?
My statutes.
Statutes, read on.
And my judgments.
Okay.
Which if a man do, he shall live in them. I am the Most High. None of you shall approach to any that is near to kin to him.
Right, so what is near to kin to you? What is your kin? Right? Family member, right? Your immediate family. Right? Read.
To uncover their nakedness.
Right. To uncover their nakedness. That doesn't mean that's not only meaning just taking off your clothes, you see them without their clothes on. But there's also, having the desire or making an action to be intimate with one of your family members. Read on.
I am the Most High. Verse 7.
Right?
The nakedness of thy father.
So we go straight to the Father. That's number one. Because he's the head. So we're going straight to the Father. The nakedness of thy father, read.
Or the nakedness of thy mother.
Or the nakedness of thy mother, read.
Shall thou not uncover.
You shall not uncover, read.
She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Right. So stop right there. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness. It's very important. The Most High said this to you because why? We were amongst the Egyptians for over 400 years. And he knew that we had to be filtered out with that madness. Right? So, what if, let's just say, you and, say your father and your mother, they together, they have you, but then before your father and mother got together, the mother already had a child. Right? Or the father had a child from another mother. Right? Can he now get with your wife? Huh? Right. La. You still what? You still your father and your father's loins. He born of another woman. Right? He come in your household, he checking out your woman. Your new wife. Damn, Pop. Looking good there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is that wicked or what? That's evil. Read on.
She is thy mother. Thou shalt not uncover her nakedness.
Right?
The nakedness of thy father's wife,
right,
shalt thou not uncover. It is thy father's nakedness.
Right. So it's going into the nakedness of each one of them. You should not lay with your father's wife. This is the law, and the Most High had to give us this law, right? We had to write it down because this is what the Egyptians was doing. They were known for that. That's why I brought out the story of Nimrod. Because after he was gone, then what? After the father was gone, then what? She laid with the son. And then he died. Then the son was born. And that came what? Another guy. Right. Is it Seramus? The son was Timos. Right. So after these sons kept going, this is polytheism, the worshiping more than one God. All those worshiping, all those deities, they have to have a father, God, mother, God, then son of God. That's the history of it. Going all the way down to the birth of what you call Jesus Christ, right? And they call it what? The virgin birth. Why they call it? Why they call it the virgin birth? Because it dates back that long ago. You know, so it dates back that long ago. They just follow the trend, just like Krishna. Where did he come from? He had a mother and a father. Mother was what? Sandra. What was the father's name? Anybody remember? When we get a chance, I'll get the chart out, I'll bring it out, but they have a father, even in Hinduism, they had a father God and a mother God. Right? And it became what? Next, son of God. Yeah. It's just the history repeating itself over and over. So, again, that's why the Most High had to bring this thing out about we can't deal with each other's mother and father like that. So let's go back.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 21.
Right?
Cursed be he that lieth with any manner of beast, and all the people shall say, Amen.
I mean, I don't think you need a breakdown for that. I mean, really? I mean, the Most High is very direct. Cursed be he that you lie with a beast. That's not talking about, you see how Esau be in the bed? You see them on the videos on TV. Oh, I love my pet. They be petting them all that. You in the bed with your dog. I mean, something is wrong with you anyway. You're doing that. But we know Esau is doing something with the dog and the peanut butter. I don't know what it's equal to, but I'm not getting into that Saturday. We're gonna keep it moving, right? Okay. But if you're lying with a beast, you are really going off with this thing. I don't think we need a breakdown with that. Nobody's looking at a sheep and desiring to be the sheep. I don't know. It's Esau, maybe. I hope none of our people are doing it. But when I look at the lamb, I look at him and like, oh man, I'm ready to tear him. I'm ready to eat him. I'm ready to cut his throat and cook it. Nobody's talking about being intimate with him. That's wicked. That's what Esau does. That's what he, believe me, it dates back again. All these other nations have done this thing in front of us, and now we see it. The Most High knew he's seen all these things. You see everything that's going on. That's why you got to keep drilling this thing in our head. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because I'm going to kill you. I don't know how direct you need to get any more than that. If you do it, I'm going to kill you. Come? Yeah. Read on. Let's go. I mean, I didn't get into the bestiality. We don't need a scripture for that. All right? I hope not. Read.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 22. Cursed be he that lieth with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother.
Right?
And all the people shall say, Amen.
Right, we just went there. We just went through Leviticus 18. We can go back to it. You can't lay with your sister. Hey, sis, you looking good in those pumps. No. You're going off. You compliment your sister, nothing wrong with that. But if you desire in your heart to be and have an intimate relationship with your sister, something is seriously wrong. But this is what they did. Oh, yeah, well, you know, Jerry, they do it on those shows. You see Jerry Springer? They come out and they lay on my sister. That's evil, man. We don't need do we need a verse for this? You said we need one? Oh, you got one. I'm sure we got. I know we got one. But do we need a scripture to break this down? I don't think so. I don't think so. Nobody here looking to be with their sister, right? But what about if your father marry another woman who's not your mother, right? It's not your mother, right? And have a girl. You don't look at her and say, you know, hey, mother had it, mother made it, mother. You wouldn't be saying words like that? No. You gotta remember. You gotta remember that whether she be born abroad or within the loins of your father, you cannot lay with her. Right? Read on.
Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 23. Cursed be he that lieth with his mother-in-law.
Oh my gosh. Great.
And all the people shall say, Amen.
So now, who's your mother-in-law? Who's that? That's your wife's mother. I don't know if some of you guys are into senior citizens, but that's not the way to go, right? Do not lie with your mother-in-law. We have to tell Israel that. Because I'm telling you, there's brothers out there that go around and brag and say, I had the daughter and the mother. Check that out. The daughter didn't want to be bothered with me, but the mother seemed like she was more interested. So let me get with her. And everything's all good in the hood. The Most High said, don't do that. I'm going to kill you. These sins are worthy of death. The Most High said he didn't want that in Israel. That's confusion. Real.
Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 25.
25?
Oh,
24. 24. Yeah.
Cursed be he that smiteth his neighbor secretly, and all the people shall say, Amen.
So wait a minute. You smite up your neighbor secretly. You put that. You know, I never get like this stuff. Hey man, come on over here. Let me show you something. Make sure you know. You duck behind the barn. Wham, wham, wham. Put the stabs on him. Throw some hay on top of him. You know what I mean? Throw him in there with throw him in the pen with the boars, and the boars eat him up. You watch some Law and Order movies. Right? Don't show no trace or nothing. The boars, they eat everything to the bone. Right? You can't secretly kill somebody. There's nothing can be done in secret. Huh?
Wow.
Why? Why is that? Why nothing can be done in secret? Did the Most High have that saying, what shall be done in what? And darkness shall come to what? Right. You gonna say that? Okay, all right. Man, you must have been boy, you was going in, man. I was going there. Just real quick, look at this 23 and 19. Yeah, we can start there and just finish and then just read that out. Okay.
The book of Sirach, Ecclesiastes chapter 23 and verse 19.
Right.
Such a man only feareth the eyes of men,
Right.
and knoweth not that the eyes of the Most High are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men, and considering the most secret parts.
Right, that's very important. It's a lot of meat of this verse. It says what? It's talking about a man committed wedlock, right? Man looking to go commit adultery with a woman, right? And he's telling them that what? Such a man feareth the eyes of men. So when you stab a man secretly, you fear the eyes of men because what? You hide it behind them. But the Most High sees it. He says his eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Right? Seeing all the secret parts. What are the secret parts? The very thought in your mind. So before you even commit the sin, the Most High already know what you're going to do. He said, uh-oh, here he goes. It's going on. Yeah. Man. Right away, the Most High already knows. Right? Beholding all the ways of men. Right? And considering the most secret parts. Secret parts talking about your mind. Now you see that man, see the Bible speaks in a masculine tone. Right? But don't think it's not talking about true women. You are included. You are from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. If you are an Israelite, you are included in this, even though it says men. Right? You gonna say this? Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. What verse is this? Verse 22. Right. Abraham and Sarah were brother and sister. You sure? Right. So Abraham, when he walked, I think he went into Egypt, he told him that she was the sister of him, right? Right. So he told him that because he was afraid because of the likeness of her of beauty, it was going to kill her. Right? Everybody, you got this? I was saying that Abraham, when he went into Egypt, right? He told the Egyptians, he told the Pharisees, not Pharisees, sorry, the Pharaoh, that they were what? That Sarah was his sister to prevent them from killing him. Because once again, if you kill the husband, right, of a man's wife, what happens now? The woman is available, right, to be someone's husband. So he figured that, if he say it's my sister, you know what I mean, they won't kill her. And eventually what happened is that he tried to get, they still try to get with her because now it's supposed to be a sister. They wound up finding out that what? That he was the husband, right? They want to find out he was the husband. So, and that happened because they knew that in Abraham that we kept the law. Okay? And you try to get with somebody's wife, that is adultery, according to the commandment of the Most High. So they knew that. But they didn't know that was his wife. He fooled them because to prevent him from getting killed. Oh yeah, they would have killed her. Her beauty was out of sight, right? So, and of course the Egyptians, they're not keeping no law, you know what I mean? But they understood the law. They understood that if you kill another man's wife, that's wicked, right? Okay. So that was what? Genesis what? 20 and 12. Okay. Read on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, and verse 25.
25, right.
Cursed be he that taketh reward to slay an innocent person. And all the people shall say, Amen.
Right. So cursed he that taketh reward, right? That slayeth an innocent person. Now, off the top of your head, what story comes to your mind? Ahab and Jezebel. Okay. What about our Lord and Savior? Huh? Remember they call him Issachar? Remember he's one of the disciples? Remember he stole the Mashak out? Right? Judas. Right? All right? Right. Right. Judas, he stole the Mashak out, huh? What happened? He stole them out for what? Huh? The 30 shekels. Yeah. And who was Mashak was what? Was he innocent? Huh? Right. Mashak was innocent, man. And he sold them out. Set him up so he could get caught. You know what I mean? But this, once again, this was prophesied when we go through the history that this thing was going to happen. And Mashak going on that cross had to happen. That's why even when Peter tried to stop him, he said, "Get behind me, Satan. You can't stop this. This is prophecy. Prophecy must be fulfilled." Right? So when you think about that, I mean, let's see where I find that. Is that Matthew 27? Real quick. I know we're going to take the break soon. Yeah, we're going to take a break soon. We're going to take a break and we're going to hit Deuteronomy 28. Yeah. Start at 27 verse 1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 27, verse 1. When the morning was come,
Right?
all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yahushua to put him to death.
Wow, this cats took counsel to put him to death. Does that sound familiar? Something happened recently in the last week or so. Anybody hear about someone taking counsel against the Israelites? Who? TD snakes. Right. When you cut the grass, you see them slithering. Right. So now, he said the chief counsels, TJ said they set a counselor so that they can what? Find out how to stop these Israelites. Right? Because why? Because we're growing. More of our people are being awakened in these last days. Right? And now he's looking to what? Stop the growth of the nation of Israel. Right? This is an abomination, man. This is a wicked, evil act. Just to show you, I know some of you know what TDJs look like, but I definitely have a picture of them. Okay? When you see the grass cut low, here we see this one slithering, stealing the money out of our people's pocket and teaching them lies. Right? So he said what? When the morning was come, all the chief priests, that's him, and the elders and people took counsel against who? Yahweh. So he took counsel against who? He took counsel against who? The children of Israel. Because don't we belong to the Most High? Okay, what scripture says that? I'm the one, I know you one. I'm talking about the New Testament. Yeah, give me one in the New Testament. See, I smell wood burning. Somebody's thinking out there. No. John. All right. Hold on, Israel. Hold on. You can't just be burning. John, give it up. Hold on a second. 1 Corinthians 3:23. Then we go back to Matthew. 1 Corinthians 3:23. You take counsel against the children of Israel how to stop them. Right? That sounds like something the nations did when we read Psalms, right? Psalm 33? Right? Right. They took crafty counsel against thy hidden ones. Did he say that? Right? And in the New Testament, what? We belong to the Mashiach. We got.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 23.
Read it as it's written.
And ye are Christ.
And we are Christ, right?
And Christ is God's.
Right. He said, ye are Christ. When he says ye are Christ, ye is talking about the children of Israel. You are Mashiach. Right? And the Mashiach belongs to Yahweh. So when you take counsel against the children of Israel, you take counsel against the Mashiach. You also take counsel against the Most High. You're on a high level of blasphemy. So wicked, filthy act against the children of thy people. Right? So go back. Go back to Matthew 27.
The book of Matthew, chapter 27 and 1.
Right.
When the morning was come, all the chief priests and elders of the people took counsel against Yahushua to put him to death.
Yeah, to put him to death. Read.
And when they had bound him, they led him away and delivered him to Pontius Pilate, the governor.
Right. Who Pontius Pilate? He's the governor of what? He's the governor, right? What is his nation? Pontius Pilate. Did he so? Huh? Right. He's of the Edomite nation, right? Wrong? Right. Wait.
Verse 3. Then Judas,
Right?
which had betrayed him,
He did what?
betrayed him,
He betrayed him, Mashiach. Read.
when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders.
Right. So now he realized the wrong which he had done, repented, and went and gave those 30 pieces of silver back. He tried to give it back. But listen, once you make a covenant. I'm gonna say that's a covenant because he made a transaction with money and he delivered on it. Right? There's a contract between Judas and Pontius Pilate, right? Pontius Pilate. Right. He made a contract with him. Right? You made a contract with Satan. How are you gonna get that back? That's gonna be tough. You know what I mean? Read on.
Verse 4, saying, I have sinned.
He what?
I have sinned.
So he said he knew that, man, I've sinned, read.
And that I have betrayed the innocent blood.
You see that? We just read in the law, cursed be he that taketh a reward to slay an innocent person. He knew that he broke the commandment of the Most High. He said, I have sinned, and in that I have betrayed the innocent blood. And what did they say after that?
And they said,
right?
What is that to us?
I don't think y'all hear that. He said, well, what is that to us? These guys are supposed to be the chief priests, the elders. And they taking the mighty matter of the law and like doing away with it. He said, well, man, so what? What does that have to do with us? You see how serious that is? You got to realize, man, what's going on. The reason why we fell as a nation, man. This guy just shrugged their shoulders like whatever, man. That cat just delivered a Mashiach up for death. And they shook, so like he tripped over a stone or something. Or he, you know, fender bender or something. Oh, don't worry about it, man, brother. That's the way they treated it. He said, what is it? What did he say again?
What is that to us?
Right?
See thou to that.
Right?
And he cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed and went and hanged himself.
He went and did what?
Hanged himself.
He did what?
Hanged himself.
Right. He committed suicide. He couldn't live with himself. He realized that, man, I just gave up. I just gave up my king, my savior, for 30 pieces of silver. He came back repentant, gave him the shekels back. Take this back. Forget about it. They said, what do you mean? Don't worry about it. He was so rough and uptight. He just said, listen, that's it, man. Life is over for me. It's done for me. That's it. I'm out of here. Right? So this is the story that when we go back, because what? Judas, he broke this commandment. He did like a double commandment. Committed suicide too. I mean, he wasn't supposed to do that, but hey, the spirit jumped on him to take his own life. So we'll go back, last verse, and then we're going to take the break. Deuteronomy 27, verse 26.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 26.
Right?
Cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of this law to do them, and all the people shall say, Amen.
Right, so cursed be he that confirmeth not all the words of this law. Right? If you don't confirm all the words of this law, you're going to be cursed. If you don't believe, well, I don't know if I can swallow that. I don't know if I can deal with that. You're going to be cursed. You got to confirm this thing and say, Amen. Yo, all the laws and the statutes and the commandments, like it says in Psalm 19, is perfect. Right? We may fall in the law. We falter. The Most High said he's perfect. His law is perfect. Right? All right? And with that, we're going to take a break. You know, we'll go like 30 minutes. We'll come back and we'll pick it up at Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1. Hallelujah.